Hello, everybody. I hope you're very well. I'm happy that you're listening to this talk. I will be giving an introductory talk for this session on farm level multi-criteria assessment, which was part of the CLCA project financed by IFAD and applied in Bolivia, Mexico, Tunisia, and Algeria in a collaboration ICARDA-CIMIT. Well, as you know, the overall objective of the project was to improve the performance of farming systems in dryland areas through conservation agricultural alternatives, but in the context of mixed farming systems. What we know is that, well, when we develop several alternatives, technological alternatives, to be able to have a more resilient and productive and sustainable farming systems, such as conservation agriculture. However, we also know that we can say one size does not fit all. Not all alternatives are good for all types of farmers because they are different. No? Each farmer household is unique. They are under different context and history in terms of biophysical and socioeconomic characteristics. They have different farm resources, farm trajectories, and then they have different farmers' objectives and attitudes towards risk, innovation, etc. So in this component of the project, we have taken a farming systems approach. Why? Because these farming systems are complex. They have different components, livestock, crop, off-farm, etc. They have several interactions and feedbacks between the different components, manure being sent to crop fields, crop residues used for forage, for livestock, some crops for food production, some crops for market and money generation, etc. We see that in these systems there is a lot of recycling and therefore efficiencies in the use of resources. And one important thing for this session is that they have multiple objectives. They are not only managed towards the satisfaction of one sole objective like economic profitability, but they are trying to satisfy several objectives such as food security, income generation, risk management, the preservation of cultural values, etc., etc. Now, these systems, they often have competition for resources. When you have one economic resource, like a dollar for investment, you will need to decide in which component to invest this resource. They also use these different components and this diversity within the farming systems to distribute risk and compensate for losses in one or another component. And in these systems are complex because the work of the different household members are distributed over the different components and as well as the benefits. So we need to adopt a farming systems perspective to understand what is the real place for conservation agricultural alternatives within the context of mixed farming systems. So a very common term is to use the recommendation domains, where we have different technological and institutional options that need to be tailored to different specific places and specific types of farming systems. So when we have an alternative, a technological alternative, we can know for whom this alternative is a useful alternative, suitable alternative with their reality and with their aspirations. And for that, we need to be able to assess these technologies under different criteria to be able to define these recommendation domains for, in this case, conservation agricultural alternatives in the context of mixed farming systems in the dryland areas. So in this session, we will be talking about farming systems analysis and design through multi-criteria assessment based on quantitative farming systems research, which is a useful tool to first be able to capture and understand the diversity of farming systems, understanding that not all farming systems are the same, and therefore not all alternatives will be suitable for all farming systems, so as to better fit options for this diverse universe or landscape of farming systems. Also, these quantitative analysis tools allow us to assess the current status or the ex post, what is happening after something was implemented in the farm, and ex ante, what could happen if we implement something at the farm household level, and the contribution of these different options, in this case, conservation agriculture options, to the sustainability of the farming systems, taking into account multiple criteria. So in the context of this project, we have developed exercises, we have performed analysis at the farm level to better tailor these technological innovations based on conservation agriculture to the diversity of mixed crop livestock systems, farming systems in the drylands. So we will have a couple of presentations, one for Latin America and one for North Africa, where we will share our experiences analyzing these farming systems using modeling tools and same modeling tool for the two sites. I hope you enjoy the rest of the session, and let's have a fruitful discussion out of this South-South exchange. Thank you.